Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Today I'm going to be setting up my bullet journal for the month of June using this lovely kit from Planning with Kay. This kit is called the Mediterranean Lemon and it came out last year. This art should look familiar if you've seen any of my other videos because it is the running theme for my entire bullet journal. So I'm really excited to use this year. We have some beautiful tableaus here for the headers. We have some lemony date numbers and some days of the week here, along with this really pretty lemon tree. I have some additional deco here. This was a freebie sheet that came because I was a $15 Patreon member, which if you're a $15 member, you get the 3-page kit plus a freebie every month. I'm no longer a $15 member. I'm now a $1 member, but I still get all of the printable freebies available for every kit she's ever done. I also got this Saturday freebie for her November sale, which is in this one of the month. So that looks really perfect, and I didn't have the add-on sheet, but I basically have these two sheets, which are essentially the add-on sheet. I also printed these and cut them using my color printer. So we have a cover quote, "Sour is what makes you appreciate the sweet," along with this lemon tree where I'm going to put the month. And then I have a full calendar page here. And then this is a setup of a horizontal weekly that looks like this, and it's already pre-designed. I have a couple of extra stickers from my stash that I'm going to be pulling in, including these sparkly monthly headers, some monthly spread headers, these long monthly headers, and these 2025 headers that I've been using all year. So without further ado, I'm going to speed things up and come back in a voiceover. Hi everyone and welcome back. So first things first, I did do a little bit of this setup off camera. I basically pulled back the sticker paper a little bit on the top and then I smoothed it out so that I could pull it straight onto the paper like so, and that keeps it nice and flat and it means that there aren't going to be any air bubbles there. So you can see in the back, I sort of folded just about an inch or two on the bottom, and then I'm just lining it up so that it's all lined and fresh. And then I pull back slowly so that I don't create those air bubbles because those can cause some sticky problems. So that is the cover spread, and I think it looks amazing. So this is the sparkly monthly header right there, and then I'm going to add my 2025 next to it. And I think that came out perfectly. I also have a little bit of sparkly stuff left over. Sorry if you can hear my kitty talking in the background. She's very cute. She's sort of howling at her quote-unquote boyfriend right now, who happens to be a little tiny puppet Albert Einstein. So I don't know if you can hear that, but so that is my cover page. The second page I'm going to make is my monthly calendar. Again, this is pre-printed from the Patreon. Here I sort of put them, I think, a little bit too close to the edge, but that's okay. Again, the point of this is just to make it a little bit easier for me to keep down all of my thoughts in a monthly calendar view. This is not something, by the way, that I would take the time to make on my own. I don't really like boxed calendars as much. I think they're good for visual overviews, but there's just not enough space in those tiny squares for me to get everything that I want in there in one day. So while I do like them for the aesthetic, and I love that these are pre-printed so I don't have to do the work, it's just a personal preference. I am using a Tombow Fudenosuke pen to just write June. And I think I was initially trying to copy that font, and then I decided, you know what, let's just use my own handwriting. It's more comfortable, and it still matches that script. Every monthly kit that Planning with Kay puts out looks a little different. Sometimes you have these date numbers, and sometimes you don't. These are super duper cute though. I thought they would go perfectly with my monthly, and so I chose to use them all there. I typically write my date numbers a lot bigger when I do my day by days in my bullet journal. So that was the perfect use for them. The next thing I'm going to mark is sort of my monthly overview. So while it might be a little redundant next to the giant calendar that I've done, what I like to do is put it in a linear fashion so that I can see everything all written out. And if there are events that are taking place over multiple days, I just write them in big block font. So it encompasses everything that way. And then I actually had in my freebie sheet, it says monthly overview. So that was kind of neat that I had that ready to go. Um, and that worked out really, really well. But what I typically do is I use the number line. Those little yellow circles are just 1 through 31. And I write um, the first day of the week. And then I use these dotted dashed lines to mark where the weeks start and begin. So this gives me a little bit more of an overview that I can sort of digest. I use this beautiful lemon tree for my sidebar deco, and then I've been kind of doing this lately where I bridge the two headers, and then I use a deco sticker to mark them. Yes, there are kittens in boxes behind me. It's pretty cute. So I just went ahead and made this my monthly task list. So anything that comes up that I need to remember to complete this month, this is a good place to put things. So for example, looking in my bullet journal now, I can see that I wrote things like finish quarter 4 progress reports, buy a Father's Day gift, buy a baby gift for a teacher. These are all things that I want to accomplish by the end of the month. And so um, I did have a couple of teacher work days this month because it was my last month of school. Teacher work days are those days when the students aren't there, but the staff still has to come in and kind of close up shop for the year. So that's what we did. Next, I'm going to make my habit tracker. This is the hardest one for me to set up because lining these numbers up along with the dots is a little tricky for me. I don't know why, but it is. So I'm just using the headers that came with the kit along with a um, habits sticker that I already had. And then what I'll do is I'll list the habits that I want to track for the month on the left-hand side, on the left side of that line. And then I just make a little X in the box to mark that I've completed that task for the day. And that will help me see how often I am keeping track of those things. To be honest, sometimes I forget to mark that I did it, even though I did do it, which kind of defeats the purpose, I know, but so challenging. The next page I'm going to do is my gratitude log. So I decided to use one of the headers from the kit right at the top. And then I thought I would use the number line that came with my freebie sheet. So this is good because I can use one line for each day of the week, uh, of the month rather, and write just a quick little line of something that I was grateful for that day. Gratitude practice is supposed to be one of the number one ways we can fight anxiety and depression. And so, given these rough times that we're in, I've been relying on this log a lot lately. The next thing I'm going to do is set up my weekly spread. This is going to be for the first full week of June. I struggled a little bit putting this one down because I lined it up wrong at the beginning. So this one is actually going to be a little off center, but that's okay. Um, this is a really beautiful spread. I actually was worried initially that I wasn't going to have enough room in each day to write stuff down. Usually, each one of my days can be as much as half of a page. And so, for me to have an entire week in 2 spreads was like a little jarring for me, but it actually ended up working out just fine. I did write the things that were important for this week. And it really helped me keep track. You can see I have a little bit of an air bubble bump there, but it's not a big deal. it actually disappeared completely when I started using the bullet journal. So I'm just flipping through to see what else I want to put in. The next weekly, sort of daily that I'm going to do, I started to write two, and I remembered that it was actually supposed to be the 9th. So I went in and just wrote in the days, excuse me, right next to the days of the week to help me kind of keep track of everything. So I usually write a big number 9, and then I write the month and the year right next to it, and I do a little line on the bottom, and then I will use one of the day covers that comes with the kit. Usually she includes at least one or four. So this is a full flip through of the entire month. So this look came out looking really beautiful. I love this lemon Mediterranean design. I think it's stunning. And I'm so excited to fill up all my pages with everything that I'm going to be accomplishing this month so that I can look back on it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful June. Take care. Bye bye.